Attention passionate Pittsburgh Steelers fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the AFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Pittsburgh Steelers' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Pittsburgh Steelers fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and Pittsburgh Steelers fans. Let's get to the news now, folks. What I'm about to talk about could truly be a game changer for the AFC North and for the Pittsburgh Steelers' future. Imagine a scenario that seemed almost impossible just a few months ago, but now, with the recent developments, it's looking like a real possibility. Yes, I'm talking about the shocking trade of Shador Sanders, the talented quarterback from Colorado, being potentially traded to the Steelers. This is not just speculation anymore. It's a storyline that's gaining momentum, and fans like us need to understand the full scope of what this could mean for the Steelers and their quest for another Super Bowl appearance. To understand the gravity of this situation, we have to look back at what's been happening with the Browns, their division rivals. It's no secret that Cleveland has been in a bit of a flux at the quarterback position. After the injury to Kenny Pickett, the Steelers' own quarterback, and the ongoing questions about their future at that position, the Browns have been eyeing options to upgrade, to add a young, potentially franchise-changing quarterback. And now it seems they might be willing to trade Shador Sanders, a player who has been making waves at Colorado and showing flashes of brilliance that could translate very well to the NFL. What's really interesting here is the recent statement from Jimmy Haslam, the owner of the Browns. During a press conference, Haslam made it clear that the decision to draft Shedeur Sanders was not his, but rather that of Andrew Berry, the Browns' general manager. This is a subtle but significant detail because it suggests that whoever was behind the draft, and it was Berry, still sees a lot of potential in Sanders. And with the Browns possibly looking to move him, the question becomes, who's going to be interested? Well, the obvious answer given the division is the Steelers. Now, let's break down what this could mean for Pittsburgh. The Steelers, under the leadership of Mike Tomlin, have always been a team that values stability, resilience, and smart moves. This offseason, they decided to go all in, bringing in veteran quarterback Aaron Rodgers, a future Hall of Famer who clearly has one last shot at a Super Bowl. But we all know that Rodgers' career, while illustrious, is winding down. The Steelers also drafted Will Howard in this year's NFL Draft, a promising young quarterback from Ohio State with a college resume that includes a national championship. Howard is an intriguing player, and many see him as a potential future starter, but he's still raw, still developing. The Steelers need more depth at quarterback, especially someone with a high ceiling who can push Rodgers and serve as a reliable backup if injuries or struggles happen during the season. This is where Shador Sanders comes into the picture. Shedeur, during his time at Colorado, showcased exceptional accuracy and calmness under pressure, qualities that NFL teams crave. Despite playing behind a less-than-stellar offensive line, he managed to throw for over 300 yards and 64 touchdowns in just 2 seasons. That kind of production, especially in a tough environment, speaks volumes about his talent and mental toughness. The fact that he's already demonstrated NFL-ready traits makes him a prime candidate for the Steelers' offense, which is evolving into a balanced attack with a strong run game and a passing game that can stretch defenses. And think about this. The Steelers' offense, under offensive coordinator Matt Canada, is designed to be versatile. With a quarterback like Sanders, who has shown he can make all the throws and remain composed in high-pressure situations, the Steelers could really unlock a new dimension in their attack. Having a target like DK Metcalf, a receiver known for his explosiveness and ability to make contested catches, would give Sanders a reliable weapon downfield. The chemistry between a young quarterback and a big-play receiver like Metcalf could develop quickly, providing the Steelers with a dynamic offense that keeps defenses guessing. Of course, making this trade wouldn't be simple. The Browns holding onto Sanders and then trading him to a division rival like the Steelers would send shockwaves not only within the AFC North, but across the league. It would also take a strategic and bold move from Pittsburgh, convincing Cleveland that they're not just upgrading their quarterback room, but also strengthening their division rival. But the Steelers have shown in recent years that they're willing to make bold moves. especially when it's about securing a future superstar who can lead them to another Super Bowl. Let's talk a little about the current state of the Steelers' roster and what this potential acquisition could mean. With Rodgers in the fold, the Steelers are in a unique position. They have a veteran who has been to multiple Super Bowls, who can guide the team through the ups and downs of the season. But Rodgers, at this stage of his career, isn't built for a full rebuild or a long-term project. He's here to win now, to make one more deep playoff run, and perhaps to give the team a taste of another championship. However, behind him, the Steelers need someone who can step up if Rodgers hits a rough patch or if his health becomes an issue. Shador Sanders fits that profile perfectly. His experience at Colorado, battling through adversity and still producing at a high level, shows he's ready to handle NFL defenses. His ability to keep his composure, deliver accurate throws, and his overall football IQ make him a potential game-changer for the Steelers. And let's not forget the importance of the division here. The AFC North is arguably the most competitive division in football, with teams that are not only talented, but deeply motivated to win. Cleveland's interest in Sanders signals their intent to compete now, but if the Steelers can acquire Sanders, it could tilt the balance of power. Imagine a scenario where Pittsburgh's quarterback situation becomes more dynamic, more unpredictable, and more explosive. That's exactly what they need to keep up with the likes of Cincinnati and Baltimore, who always bring their A-game. Now, you might be wondering, what exactly would it take for Pittsburgh to pull off this trade? Well, Steelers GM Omar Khan has shown he's not afraid to make bold moves, and if Cleveland's asking price isn't astronomical, this could be a win-win situation. Cleveland might want a draft pick or a young player in return, and the Steelers could be willing to part with some assets to secure Sanders. It's also worth noting that this move would send a message to the entire league that Pittsburgh is serious about winning now and building for the future simultaneously. And speaking of the future, this also raises the question of how the Steelers will continue to develop their roster around the quarterback position. With the draft pick of Will Howard, they already have a project that could develop into a starter down the line. But having Sanders in the fold provides an immediate upgrade and a much-needed spark for the team's offense in 2025. Plus, it gives the Steelers a competitive edge in training camp and during the season, as they'd have more options to adapt to different game situations. This scenario also puts pressure on other quarterbacks in the division and around the league. Sanders, with his talent, could quickly become a fan favorite in Pittsburgh, especially if he manages to show flashes of brilliance early in his NFL career. The Steelers fans would love to see their team take a chance on a young, talented quarterback like Sanders, especially knowing that he could develop into a franchise cornerstone for years to come. And now, Pittsburgh Steelers fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this potential trade? Do you think the Steelers should go all in for Shador Sanders? Would you be excited to see him under center in Heinz Field, leading the team into the next era? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Pittsburgh Steelers. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Pittsburgh Steelers news. Thanks for being here, and as always, keep the faith. The black and gold is ready to make some noise this season.